Where did I get to? I think I squeezed in Muscle Girl here as an extra on the last stream, which means it's the tiny little artist lady now. And then these ones. Oh, man. Oh, it's gonna suck to do Law Lady. Law Lady without MTT. That was his voice. Oh, I loved it so much. Maybe I can skip that one till the next time. Alright. Also, let me see what that beep just was. Right, just the beep of getting started on a Twitch stream. Okay, so we went through this intro last time. Ever since you were a kid on Earth, you've always held the deep, close wish to one day travel the world. You wanted to see new places, experience exciting new tastes and attitudes, maybe go scuba diving. You never imagined you'd actually get the chance. That kind of cool stuff doesn't happen to someone like you. Well, you're finally getting your wish. It's just on a totally different world. When you get back to Earth, you don't want to think about that. Who knows if it'll ever even happen. You've really chilled out, found your place, drifting from friend to friend. It's the only way to live. Remel Namak. So, the other artist girl took blood for paints. This artist girl made a doll out of trash in the actual Friendsim game. I have no clue what this is going to be. You've wandered into a part of town that seems to have some culture going on. There are a lot of bright neon lights, and you can't read what the signs say. But you can see arcades, a performance space, and what looks like a movie theater, perhaps more indie-oriented compared to the mall cinemas you've seen before. As you continue wandering, you come across a trendy-looking building with a placard outside that shows a little cartoon doodle of a fancy waiter holding out trays of snacks. You can't read what the words say, but you recognize the intergalactic signal for free food inside. Come on in. Oh, good. Wonderful. I know that particular set of hair and horns from behind, even. Also, that is just impressive over there. That's a long... You can't even see my mouse. It's not capturing. But on the right side of the screen, there's like a long horn going down. Ooh. Ooh, that's scary. Also, all of these people are probably high class because it's an art exhibit. So, ew. You head inside. It appears to be an art gallery. It must be opening night because there are festive decorations up and a little table offering drinks and hors d'oeuvres. There are many other art appreciators here, and your adrenaline spikes when you realize that most of the trolls milling about are purple bloods. You are not sure if some paintings and snacks are worth the high chances of being maimed when chaotic violence breaks out, but as you're debating the merits of free food versus probable injury, someone approaches you. Hello. You don't look like my other patrons. Are you lost? Are you perhaps looking to start collecting? If you're loaded, ignore that first question. Art is for everyone after all, regardless of your blood color. The 4 black pupils in her eye glint and sparkle, and you're not sure yet if it's a menacing or a friendly sparkle. She grins at you, and it shows all her teeth. I kind of like this music. I liked it better before I heard the flat in it, when it was just the, like, the upper levels of the music when it was in my ear when I was talking. I like that. I'm liking it less. So what do you think of the art? Have any paintings caught your eye? You look around, you don't know much about art, but you're a nerd. And a lot of the paintings in here remind you of scenes from popular movies and games back home. Is it too loud? It might be too loud. It should be fine. Because the volumes are set from last time. Excuse the double sound here. I'm just gonna check the audio. It sounds good. It sounds good. All right. Yeah, it seems. Yeah, this thing right here. I didn't even notice this before, but yeah, this is legitimately just a troll Mona Lisa. It looks pretty good, but it's kind of derivative. It's kind of derivative. You clearly know nothing about art, pleb. If you don't like it, there's the door. Make room for someone with money to burn and better taste. Alright, cool. Just immediately shoved out with a broom. Game over number 1. Achieved. Aw, I lost a follower since last time. I guess that means I shouldn't technically have been playing this today, but oh well. It was at the right number when I started, and so we are going to continue. Yes, the artwork is stunning, perhaps the best I've ever seen. Troll me Mona Lisa, who? Ah, stop, you flatterer. She puts a hand on her hip and winks at you, and you're guessing here that she doesn't actually want you to stop. You're also making the connection that she must be the artist who painted all of these. You sense an opportunity for friendship, so you lay it on thick and gush about how talented she is. I thought you looked like a dumbass when you walked in, but you have good taste after all. Let me show you around. You follow Ramel through the gallery, swinging by the table with the free food first. It's pretty good by the standards you've come to expect on Alternia, but what you thought was wine at first glance is actually Faygo. No, no thanks. No, stay far, far away from the Faygo. It only brings bad things. You may have noticed some themes in my exhibited work. I don't love clowns or gore as much as it may seem. That's just what I have for sale here. If you look at my work online, you'll see my full range of art. But for this fancy gallery shit, Purple Bloods are some of my best customers. These clowns fucking love art. They're rich as fuck and they'll buy anything as long as it's violent enough or features religious themes. You've seen the kind of destruction and mayhem that Purple Bloods are capable of, so you're surprised she doesn't seem to mind being in a crowded gallery with so many of them. Most other trolls you've interacted with have done their best to steer clear of the clown murder cult guys, at least when one of those hate-romance relationships isn't on the table. Isn't it kind of dangerous to actively court them for her audience? Oh sure, they can be unpredictable, and keeping them happy requires some schmoozing. Occasionally I have to pretend like I've drunk the Faygo and pull some religious references out of my ass. But it's nothing I can't handle. You can make a lot more money as an artist if you're not choosy about what you draw. That is true. That is absolutely true. I have a feeling that is pulled directly from the swaths of people who get their start drawing porn. Because there are a lot of people who will pay for porn. I've been down that road. It gets eyes on your work. It's something for an income. One of my customers is this blue blood moron who only ever commissions me to draw low bloods in quadrants with other low bloods. I've got him convinced I'm giving him a deal on his rate when he's actually paying 5 times what I charge anyone else. My point is, artistic integrity is for chumps. If you want to get ahead in this world, give the people what they want first. That strikes you as a depressing outlook on the creative process, but you're aware by now that idealism on Alternia tends to lead to shorter lifespans. And you have to admit, looking around at the crowd in this gallery, that her cynical approach seems to be working. You tell her that she sounds pretty business savvy in addition to talented, and she winks at you again. Thanks, I know. Because I make bank doing shit like this, I'm able to fund my passion projects. You should really check out my webcomic. Before you can find out what her webcomic is about, she notices another troll who's been sidling up to you. As she approaches, she whips out what looks like a small recording device with a smile. Ramel's face goes completely blank and crosses her arms over her chest. And how can I help you? Ah, yes, hello there, Miss Namag. I'm with Alternia Nightly, and I must say it looks like your first ever gallery exhibit has been a smashing success so far. The journalist's syrupy tone and innocuous words don't seem threatening to you, but you're picking up on some tense vibes from Ramel, whose hair ribbon swings forward in front of her face aggressively. Of course it's a success. I've never expected otherwise. Maybe not, but some in the art world have expressed surprise at the timing of this. Some have called it bold, considering that you're currently in the middle of a plagiarism controversy. Would you care to comment on the case against you by Trident Media? I don't know who that is. Instead of being caught off guard by the question, Ramel relaxes and laughs. Oh, that. As if they have any kind of real evidence that I'm violating their precious intellectual property. All the characters I draw and profit from are entirely original, and Trident Media and their legislator are just mad about it because the whole internet knows that my storylines are better than the source material. I mean, they're better than the unrelated creative works that my comics happen to bear superficial resemblance to. Feel free to quote me on that. The reporter takes the quote and scuttles away. Ramel seems unbothered, but you can't help feel concerned for her. Copyright infringement is serious business. Is your new friend in legal hot water? Nah, Alternia barely has any copyright protections to speak of. It's just that little pest Gorjek trying to stir up shit as usual. Who dat? The company behind his lawsuit wouldn't even care if he hadn't gotten involved. It's no big deal, nothing I can't handle. You go back to following her around the gallery, keeping your distance whenever Purple Blood comes up to compliment her on her work. You can tell that despite her confident attitude, Ramel's still thinking about that journalist. She taps her foot and frowns at the paintings whenever there's a lull in the conversation, throwing glances at the door at the door that the journalist just left through. You know, it's not like Alternia has a free press or credible newspapers. That reporter was probably hired by someone with a grudge to dig up dirt on me. I don't think it was Gorjek, actually. It's too obvious. Amateurish. Nah, this stinks of my competition. The artistique establishment thinks all I do is fan art and I shouldn't be taken seriously as an artist. All their paintings are in the museum across the street and they hate that I've managed to put up my own exhibit. Those stuck-up pretentious bulge scrubs have been trying to sabotage me for so long. She turns to you and her hands balled up into fists and the X in her eye flashing with passion. I've been waiting for the opportunity to strike back at them. If everyone's gonna accuse me of being a thief and a hack anyway, I may as well steal from them for real. Hello, Calvin. Yes, we're currently going through a paper-thin veneer of the creative process as it existed on Tumblr in the day. So much thieving. Yes, that's the word. Thieving fan art and talks about just giving people what they want. Yes, I agree. The Mona Lisa is a shit waifu. Thank you for finally being the one to say it. But their security is tight and I haven't had an accomplice until now. What do you say? You want to help me pull off a risky heist? Yes, fuck yes, and hell fucking yes. Only one of them has to be right. She probably wants the middle one. The first one's gonna be like, you don't seem too into it. And the last one's gonna be like, you were a little too into this. Ugh. Mona Lisa's clearly Purple Blood. You know, the thing is, you're probably not wrong, because this whole exhibit is just for Purple Bloods. The place is full of them. It's incredibly dangerous, but they're the ones who buy the arts. Yes. Ramel does one last round in her exhibit, saying goodbye to her patrons and grabbing her bag, which seems to be mostly art supplies, as you head out the door and onto the street. Mostly because it's got makeup, that's also fair. But, all the paintings are made for Purple Bloods, so they're all probably clowns and Purple Bloods. The museum that she wants to rob is at the end of the block in a much bigger, fancier building than the one you just walked out of. All the lights are off inside, and it doesn't have any signs advertising current exhibits. We can do this one of two ways. Follow that journalist and steal the keys if she has them, or break in without them. Oh god, there's too many choices too close together. Hold up. I want to go back to hell yes and hell fucking yes. Hell yeah, I want, because that one appears to actually be the way forward. I was surprised. Hell fucking yes. Oh, okay. Never mind. They're all gonna be the same thing. It's just, it's a fake choice. I sees. Fuck yes. Okay. Well, yeah, they're all yes. Yeah, but the last time I had options of a degree upon which to ask, one of them got me like, I don't know. You're weirding me out with how much you're into this. Which one should I go for? Which one do you want? Steal the keys or bust down the door? Loud and proud? I'm taking that as bust down the door. A heist sounds risky enough without spending extra time trying to pickpocket some keys. You suggest that if this crime is going to happen tonight, it should happen now. No time like the present. Good point. Let's go break into a museum. Good line. You scoot casually across the street to the museum on the corner. After seeing the kind of looks your unusual appearance draws from passerby, Ramel takes some fabric from her bag and wraps it around your head. There. Now people will probably just assume that you have horns. You're just embarrassed by them being tiny or malformed. Duck into that alcove shielding the museum's back door and wait for me. I'm gonna circle the block first, just so that we seem less suspicious. As you wait for Rommel by the door, the reality of this caper sets in. You've been excited about the heist at first, because who wouldn't be excited by the opportunity to sneak around, steal some art, and stick it to the man, probably with a snazzy soundtrack playing. But now you realize in heist movies that they always have blueprints for the place they're gonna rob, and you have no blueprints. Oh god, this seems like a dire sign. Before you can get too swept up in your worries, Rommel returns. Does she have any idea how to get into this place? Does she have the blueprints? Because the door looks pretty unbust-downable to you. Yeah, I got some tricks up my sleeve. I've never done this before, but it probably works. She roots through her bag until she comes out with several paintbrushes of varying size, then crouches down and uses the skinniest one as a lockpick. It doesn't work, but then she selects a different paintbrush with different bristles and uses some of the bristles punched together, and the lock clinks open. Ha! I'm great at this. Bet I could be an incredible thief if I decided to do that instead of art. Do you ever take the time to just sit back and acknowledge how great you are at everything you do and how much you trust yourself to never fuck up when it counts? Ceruleans are probably about the closest thing you could possibly come to the embodiment of confidence in this world. They can't even conceive that anything they could do could ever go wrong. You hope that question is rhetorical because your honest answer is that no, you don't have a whole lot of experience acknowledging how great you are at everything you attempt. Your mental acknowledgements lately have mostly been the opposite of that, actually. Maybe it wasn't rhetorical because Rommel stays crouched down like that for a second, looking at you like she wants an answer. When you eventually come up with an awkward shrug, she stands up and puts away her makeshift lockpick, dusting off her hands and opening the door. I guess not everyone can be at my confidence level. Anyway, let's go. You follow her inside. Much to your delight, you see that this museum has an infrared laser beam alarm system. Ha ha! It looks so cool, just like in the movies, and you're back to being excited. Rommel seems into it too, bouncing on the balls of her feet next to you. Interesting. One of these is gonna have to get through the beams to disable the alarm. The box to do it is across the room there, you see? But these lasers are so close together. You can see the issue. Rommel isn't that tall for a troll, but she might be too tall to maneuver through these beams. Even if she bends over, it's going to be tricky for her to squirm through them all without losing her balance and tripping the alarm. But the trolls that designed this alarm system didn't have your hornless ass in mind when they thought of the potential intruders. You stoop over a bit to see if you'll fit, and sure enough, yes! You should be able to shimmy your way through these beams with minimal contortion. Fuck yeah, I knew it was right to bring an accomplice. Great thinking, me! And great heist skills, you, if you pull this off. I'm holding back most of the compliments. You recall what she said about confidence and trusting yourself not to fuck things up, and assure her that you've got this. You immediately fuck things up. You phase the laser beams with your self-doubt shoved all the way down, where it hopefully won't screw anything up for you. You take a deep breath, and crouch down and carefully, so carefully, inch your way forward between the wires. It's the slowest you've ever crossed a room in your life, and there are a couple of moments where you teeter and almost lose your balance. You can hear Rommel hissing through her teeth behind you at tense moments, but you press on without looking back. And then you've done it! You've reached the box to disable the alarm system! And you have no idea how you're going to do that! All the buttons are labeled in alien alphabet. Crap. Oh, that's right, I forgot you can't read. Press the one that looks like a meat hook, but with angry eyes. And press the one that looks like a meat hook, but it's got herpes claws. That should do it. That sounds bonkers. But you look back at the buttons, and the descriptions are actually pretty spot on. You press the angry eyes and the cat claws, and the whole alarm system makes a soft shuddering noise, and then clicks and shuts off. You are thrilled. You did it! Who knew that doing something right could give you such a rush? This is just like the part of the heist where the heroes had to sweat for a minute and then defeated the unforeseen wrench in their plan. You are certain that there couldn't possibly be any larger wrenches in your plan still to come. Rommel crosses the room to join you, giving you an appraising look with her hands on her hips. Not bad. Thanks for coming through for me like that. Now let's get what we came here for. There's one work in particular that I'm here to get. You follow her through the different galleries, passing through sculpture rooms and oil paintings until you reach a display of pieces that look inspired by pop culture. The paintings and prints in here remind you a lot of Rommel's exhibit, and when you look at her, you can see that she's rigid, her eyes flashing a passionate blue tint to her cheeks. I can't believe they called me the hack. Such bullshit. Whatever, it's cool.
doesn't actually bother me. I just need to send the message that they don't want to fuck with me. This painting right here is a direct rip-off of one of my earlier works. Back when I was naive enough to put my art up for free without realizing it would just get copied and someone else would get all the credit and the profit. Well, I learned my lesson. I'll take this so they can't sell it, rip off their rip-off, make something even better, and turn it over for truckloads of cash. She grabs the painting, and when the two of you are ready to heist roll out of here, you hear voices at the back door and what sounds like a team of security guards coming in. They must have arrived to investigate the alarm system shutting down. You're ready to embrace your panic, but you still... It's gotta slow down. Gotta slow down and realize what I'm reading. You stop hyperventilating when you feel Ramel's vice-like clawed arm in your grip. Don't freak out. Follow my lead. We can still get out of this. You assume that the whole heist is off now that security has shown up, but to your surprise, Ramel doesn't put the stolen painting back on the wall. She gives your arm one last reassuring squeeze before sauntering out of the room with her head held high, moseying with no hurry towards the front door. You follow her nonchalant lead as best you can. When one of the security guards stops her, Ramel gives him a condescending, slightly confused look. What are you even doing here? My assistant told me she informed all staff that I would be swinging by today to pick this up. Did you miss that memo? Give me a break. I'm sure it must be easy to miss things, right? Because as a security guard, you probably get so much important correspondence every day. Her 4 pupils somehow give her sneering eye roll extra sarcastic force. She yawns and with her free hand not holding the painting, flicks some non-existent dirt off her shirt. The security troll, a burgundy blood judging from the sign on his cop hat, looks uncertain and embarrassed. I get it. I understand cross wires. Since you're apparently too busy to do your job right, I'll catch you up to speed. I'm the artist behind this piece, and I got a wealthy patron interested in commissioning something similar. I'm taking this as a reference in order to negotiate a better deal. There's absolutely no way the guys will buy her story. The two of you look so guilty and still have her yellow sash wrapped around your head, probably looking like an idiot with a head injury. But Ramel is staring down this guard like it hasn't even occurred to her that she might be questioned. You've never seen someone double down so hard on a story that is such transparent bullshit. If you want to waste more of my time by calling your superiors to verify, you go right ahead. He might not be thrilled that this mix-up happened because you can't keep up with your emails, though. The security troll is already wavering, and at the mention of his emails, he cringes. His coworkers behind him shuffle around, muttering to each other. He steps back, horns lowered in embarrassment, and waves you and Ramel through with a mumbled apology. You can't believe this is happening, but the two of you swagger out the street through the front door, legitimate as anything. You don't stop until you've turned the corner to the next block, and then Ramel leans against the wall and laughs, holding the painting happily to her chest. Suckers! It was not a brown blood, it was burgundy, one step below. Feels good to get away with things, doesn't it? It does feel good, you suppose. Mostly you still think you're reeling. How did she come up with a story like that on the fly? How did she guess correctly that the security guard wasn't some hyper-organized inbox zero kind of guy who'd never believe he could have missed a message? Ramel gives you an odd look and reaches forward to unwind her sash from around your head and stuff it in her bag. I just winged it, man. You overthink things. My guesses are usually right because I'm a creative genius, but if going after him for emails hadn't worked, meh. Guess we'd have been arrested and then I'd talk my way out of that eventually too. You find it hard to believe that she goes through life so easily with that kind of unshakable belief that she can improvise through anything. Doesn't she worry it'll catch up with her someday? You want the long answer? Nope, super don't. And if you still don't get it, I don't know if it's the kind of thing you can really learn. She picks up the painting again, looking down the street and away from you. Well, that was a successful heist. Now that I've ruined the competition, I feel inspired. I'm gonna take this home and paint. Wait, hang on. With a sinking feeling, you realize that she's getting ready to depart, and you feel like this friendship might be slipping through your fingers. Sorry, kid. You seem like you're not totally useless at least, but I'm not one for a long-term artistic collaboration. It's a lot easier to talk your way out of tight spots when you're on your own. Peace. You watch her go, your shoulders sagging with disappointment. You guys stole from your museum together, escaped together, bamboozled the cops together. Well, it was like 99% her. You stood there like a fucking idiot. You should have bonded over your shared transgressions and culpability. Every crime movie you've ever seen has taught you that heists bring people closer together, but... cultural differences? Yay! Long form game over! This is your fault, Calvin. You wanted me to bust down the door. We gotta go after the keys, dude, the keys. You would much rather walk through an unlocked door than try to bust it down, and the reporter is still in sight, turning a quarter down the street. You try to imitate Ramel's casual yet confident way of walking, like she could blend in anywhere and pull off anything. But despite your efforts to not attract suspicion, you keep getting looks. Not being the same species as everyone around you tends to make you stand out. Shit, this could be a problem. I can put together a disguise for you, hang on. You watch as she starts pulling things from her bag. She seems to have all sorts of things in there, from paintbrushes to blobs of clay to paint, and you think she might be putting together some fake horns for you from scratch real quick? But before she could finish, you realize that one of the Purple Bloods about to walk into Ramel's gallery is staring at you. He looks vaguely familiar, and you realize a little too late where you've met when he starts walking towards you.
I remember you. You broke into my apartment.
It's the same troll that you and Polypa escaped from. You back away as he advances, a lazy grin on his face. Ramel glances from him to you and back to him again. Well, fuck. Looks like I'm not gonna have an accomplice after all. Sorry, pal. She hoists her bag over her shoulder and shrugs her hands in a what can you do gesture. Then she's gone, the big Purple Blood paying her no mind as she absconds. You want to feel betrayed, but it's hard to blame her considering how scary this guy is. In your heart, you know that you're dead already, but you're not going to accept your fate without attempting to prevent it. You make a dash to escape, sprinting towards a skinny alleyway and thinking that maybe you can scamper up a fire escape or something? Unfortunately, your attacker's size doesn't seem to slow him down, and you can hear his heavy footfalls right behind you. He laughs, and it somehow sounds dopey and dumb and completely terrifying at the same time. You make it to the alleyway, but you fucked up because it's a dead end. You don't see anything you could use to clamber around high enough ground. You turn to face him, hopelessness sinking down to your toes. Your scrappy alien tenure on this hazardous planet is about to come to a messy end. The Purple Blood swings his massive club lazily in one hand as he approaches, not bothering to run anymore. You drop into a fighting crouch, trying to think back to your third-grade karate lessons for any moves that might be useful. But before he can crush your skull, you see a flash of movement behind him. He staggers, dropping the club as something hits him from behind. Yay! As much as I appreciate inspiring my fans, I'm gonna have to ask you not to interpret my art so literally, as in, no murdering. Ramel springs off the troll's back after clawing him and rolls to the side, avoiding his swinging fists. She grabs for his club, which is almost as long as she is tall, but before she can use it, his next blow catches her below the ribcage, sending her flying across the alley and into the brick wall. She's on her feet again fast, but you can tell that she's injured, and now she doesn't have the element of surprise on her side. The Purple Blood turns his back on you as he closes in on Ramel, lunging again. You can't let him get killer, not when she came back for you, but you have no idea how you can help her. Your eyes land on Ramel's bag, tossed to the side in the melee, and in desperation you grab a loose paintbrush that rolled out of it. You dive forward with a battle cry and stab the end of the paintbrush deep into the High Blood's calf. That's Purple Blood, alright. Violet Blood squirts you in the face. He yells and you manage to roll away just in time to avoid getting smacked. The slight stab wound hasn't slowed him down much, but it's given Ramel a chance to dive out of his range, and while he's still trying to grab you, she gets a hold of his club again. Yep, that is a massive spiked club. She's stronger than she looks, strong enough to get a good wind-up with that thing, and when he turns towards her, she brings it down hard onto his skull. More and more blood. Sup, Taken? You just walked in on a murder. It takes a few more good smashes before the troll finally stops groaning and twitching. Ramel breathes heavily, wiping blood splatter off her forehead. She looks up, meeting your eyes. You are absolutely positive this is the most dramatic way you've ever been rescued. You can't believe she came back and risked her life for you. Don't mention it. I needed an accomplice, right? She drops the club and staggers over to you, pausing to spit out cerulean blood. You remember that she took some damage and hurry to support her, offering her your weak human arm to lean on. I did kill a clown. Yay! This is a good day. Is she gonna be okay? I'll be fine. Ceruleans are tough to cull, even for a wannabe subjuggulator. She tilts her head, looking down at the way her blood swirls with the larger quantities of purple blood pooling on the asphalt. That's actually not bad as an artistic medium. The colors and textures work well together. Maybe that blue blood kid from Chitter is onto something. Anyway, thanks for having my back with that paintbrush. That took some quick thinking. We make an okay team. I never killed anyone before, but that kind of ruled, didn't it? You're not sure that you would choose those exact words, but you're pretty relieved right now. You might not have the bloodthirsty glint in your eyes that Ramel does, but maybe you can interpret your adrenaline shakes as euphoric overload or something. Hell yeah, me too. I can see why people get into this killing business. If I wasn't such a great artiste, I'd consider switching careers. But sometimes when you're good at too many things, you have to pick one and stick to it. So no professional assassinations for me. I'm still determined to rob the shit out of my competitors though, and you know, now that we killed someone together, it just makes sense for us to stay partners in crime, right? Your heart leaps at the implications that she wants to stick together. You truly do not mind breaking every law in the books if it means she'll be your friend. It's the most important thing to you. Nice. We probably don't need to go around breaking every law, I just want to steal some art. But maybe we can reschedule the heist for another day. This neighborhood is going to be crawling with drones as soon as they realize a High-Blood was killed. You feel bad. This troll attempting to slaughter you ruined Romel's gallery opening. Are you kidding? My customer base loves this kind of shit. My art will get even more of a violent reputation when word gets out that someone died at my first gallery show. That's metal as fuck. You limp out of the alley, supporting Romel with your arm around her waist, and she directs you to the back entrance of her gallery, where the two of you can clean off the blood and hide until the drones and crowds are gone. Daco9767845, hello and welcome to the stream. If you don't mind, you can lie low at my place for a few days while we plan this heist. I might want to get some work done while we wait and scheme. That fight was pretty inspiring. You're already my accomplice, so how do you feel about also being my muse? Victory, yay. I don't know. No, not more blood. More blood is bad. Okay, so, Taken, since you don't seem to know what's going on here, that's fine, most people don't. This is one of the few games that I still play in English, because this particular universe is kind of special. It gave me a lot of friends and opened up a lot of communities for me back when I was still a youngin' back in Edmonton. And it's just complete and utter bullshit. It's a whole lot of word vomit that you are never actually prepared for. I've been reading this shit for 8 years, and it still finds a way to just take me by complete surprise. And hello, Chemist Dancer, welcome. How's it going? So the super gist of it is, we are this thing. I am this thing. You are this thing. And we crash landed on an alien planet. This alien planet is full of trolls. Trolls are from Homestuck. That might be all you need to be scared, and that's fine. So I've already done friends with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 people now. But there are 18 volumes, so we're not even through 10 yet. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. I'm definitely gonna save this person whose name I forgot. Saving this for M to T. I was streaming earlier until I had to jump out and run to a pharmacy to get that jab in the arm. I am jelly. I'm not going to get that jab in the arm for like another 2 months at minimum. Probably not for another 4, 5, I hope. I also need to find my way to the hospital for a, for one, my foot broke a couple weeks ago, and also I've had a mystery pain under my rib cage for the past few days. And it's like less, but not gone? So, yeah. Hospitals in Japan are closed on Sundays, so I might have to find my way down there today. Loki having a heart attack? It's been here for 3 days. I don't think a heart attack would last 3 days. Plus the heart is in the center, like at the top. This is lower and to the right. Alright, on to the next one. Another night, another ramble. A classic song comes back to you as you continue on your way. Some of that good old earth wisdom about a specific kind of footwear being made for walking. You wish you had that kind of footwear right now in this current chapter in your life, or any footwear for that matter. You've definitely learned your lesson about getting overexcited at the prospect of new friends. And running out in nothing but a bathrobe. Oh, who are you kidding? Maybe not that particular bathrobe way, but chances are high that wasn't the last time you'll fly off in the buoyant afterglow of an intense friendgasm. Hold on, I just gotta write something down real quick. I'm not writing down friendgasm. It's not that. I miss friendgasms. Haven't had anything close to a friendgasm since I came here. I'm just not that close with many people here. And like all of Corona has been keeping me from making new friends to friendgasm with. It's like, oh. Oh. I just want to go outside safely. I want to go to meetups and stuff. Tizius Antique. Okay, this one belongs to MTT. We spent so long in that trial, I can't take this from him. So I'm gonna go with Chixie Roxmar instead. Chixie. That name vaguely rings a bell. Was I think Chixie was in Hiveswap 2, but she was the one that we convinced not to get on the train. Yeah, she was from the subway terminal. Look, your point is you need a wardrobe change. You should have asked Elward for one of her rad leather jackets. You could really make one of those work. I think she died because you went the Elward route. No, not died. We just convinced her not to come. Because she was gonna die if she came to the event. But then we never got to the event, so I don't know. I don't know the conclusion of that story path yet. This is kind of a crummy neighborhood. And there you go again, making snap judgments. Get a little alien culture into you, and suddenly you're an expert. Looks like you found the Alternian nightlife. Well, technically all life here is nightlife. If people are nocturnal here, shouldn't nightclubs be called day clubs? Maybe the lure of dancing and getting smashed with strangers is not enough to get people to brave the blistering sun. You doubt you'd brave a stiff breeze for it. You aren't much of a partier. But recently you're all about new experiences. You'll try anything once. A long line of people snakes along the side of a building. It doesn't appear to be moving. The club must not be open yet. You consider getting in line, but there's so many people here. You really are more of a one-on-one friendship type. I've been to a day club. It was overrated. I would be interested in a day club. Look, I just don't want to go out to a club and then, like, by the time I feel like it's time to leave or anything, it's like you're winding down. It's like, well, shit, now I have to be here for another 3 hours before I can even get home. I'm not paying for taxis. Especially here in Tokyo. You go around the back instead to your old friend, the back alley and the dumpster. Distantly, you hear music. It comes on every few seconds and then drops off. Maybe a sound check. You hear something else. A musical sigh comes from up ahead. You turn a corner to find a girl standing alone outside a back entrance. A heavy door is propped open with a chunk of concrete like someone had gouged it off the street. The girl has a sweater, dress, and leg warmers, and a bronze sign splashed across her chest. You wonder if you should consider painting a sign onto your own clothes just to make yourself seem more normal. No, probably no point. You'd also need to paint yourself gray and find a pair of fake horns. Who would do something like that? It sounds like a huge pain with absolutely no benefits. I have to share something with you now. Just because this is such an obvious joke. Calling out Hiveswap? No, it's not calling out Hiveswap. What it's calling out is hold, loading picture. This particular crowd of insane individuals that took over every goddamn convention for the span of about 5 years. I was not in that one. I did not ever take on the troll horns and the gray paint. I made myself a fantastic red cape and did Dave a couple times. No troll for me. I had friends that did trolls. They all looked the same too. A bunch of them were the same. A bunch of them were Carcat. They had the same exact characters reference. The girl hasn't noticed you yet. She's staring at her feet and sighing. Also, she's making weird little whoops and clicking noises, or singing a few bars of wordless notes, starting low and then climbing high. It sounds pretty good. The enclosed space between the alley walls makes it seem like it's coming from all directions. Maybe you should just leave. She looks busy. But then another troll sticks their head around the open door, shooting the girl an unkind look and kicking the cement block doorstop away. Oh heck, there's really only one reason you would prop open a door. Well, I'm gonna stand there like an asshole. I mean, it's probably good to leave this girl completely abandoned in a back alley with me. That's easier to become friends, right? Looks like the witness to a disastrous car accident. You stand there and watch as the girl notices the door closing and lets out a squeak, jumping for the handle. She misses it and smacks her knee against the metal frame. Ah, damn it. She has a soft musical voice, even when she's swearing. You ask if she's okay. She stops rubbing at her knee and looks up at you. You are quite a bit taller than her, but she looks older than some of the other trolls you've hung out with.
No worries. Well, at least not about my leg. If you want something to worry about, I'm sure I can come up with some ideas without much trouble.
You assure you've had plenty to worry about recently, though you appreciate the offer. She gives a fruitless tug on the back door. She knocks. Nobody comes. She knocks again. Still nothing. You tell her that someone kicked her doorstop out of the way. She looks disappointed, but not surprised.
Oh well, I'll just have to go back to the front. Could be worse. Would you care to join me?
Oh my god, you thought she'd never ask. Yeah, it worked. This is working out perfectly. You're so glad she got locked out back here with you and the rest of the garbage.
I'm Chixie Rocksmore, although I'm sure you already know that. I don't think you're an idiot or anything. Meet and greets are usually after the show, but you seem nice.
You aren't sure how she figures that, since all you've done is stand around. It's true, though, so you don't protest. You are nice. Super nice. You might be the nicest son of a bitch on this whole dang planet. You ask her if she's performing here tonight.
Of course. Why else would I be warming up in a dirty back alley?
You tell her you've seen people do far weirder things, and she laughs.
You aren't wrong. People around here will do anything for attention nowadays. For instance, you are walking around in an ablution robe.
You cough delicately. It's true. It's very true. She's got you there.
If you come inside with me, I can give you an autograph. I don't have anything to write with back here.
Chixie seems to think you are a fan who managed to get past security to accost her in person. She doesn't seem too upset, though. More like delighted? You think back many friends ago to when Sirava told you it was dangerous for lowbloods to get popular. You wonder if Chixie trusts you because she thinks you are also a lowblood, or maybe she's just not that popular. You follow her back to the front of the club, past the line of trolls waiting to get inside. A guy whistles at her and she gives him a flirty little wave along with a flat smile. A customer service smile. She shows the bouncer something on her palm husk and he lifts up the velvet rope.
They're with me, they're my +1.
You've never been anyone's +1 before! A bunch of people in line look annoyed, but Chixie ignores them. You follow her, tripping a little on the hem of your robe. Later, chemist. Thanks for stopping in and saying hi.
Be careful, huh? You don't want to twist an ankle.
Yeah, it really sucks. Chixie speaks with a lilt, like a character in a musical getting ready to burst into song. You hope you aren't supposed to participate if she does. You're a little too busted for impromptu dance numbers, and you're also liable to flash someone in this robe. You hear music and chatter from down the hall, but Chixie pulls you in another direction, towards the dressing rooms. You pass several closed doors, stopping in front of one that seems to be in the process of being cleared out. A bunch of shit is spilling out into the hall, clothes trailing out of suitcases. A microphone cord seems to be slithering slowly among the detritus. Charming. I can't do anything without someone messing around, locking me out, and now this. Who did this? I am seriously out for blood tonight. I like this girl's art. I like him. It's more subtle expressions. She looks cute. She's super kawaii. Looks like someone commandeered her dressing room while she was out, as well as tossed all her shit into the hall. I have to deal with this. I'll be right back. You can borrow some clothes if you want. In fact, I insist. And before she's ripped to shit, that would be even better, though. She leaves you in the cramped little room. It's dark in the hall, but everywhere in Alternia is kept darker than is comfortable for you. You're getting used to it. You imagine humans used to have to deal with this all the time back before electricity, provided they didn't die immediately of, like, dysentery. You flick on the outline of white bulbs around the mirror. Even in the soft, flattering light, you look like an A-grade free-range disaster. Tagora's expensive rainbow drink of serum is rubbed off, and now you're mostly just dusty. You wade through a couple of Chixie's suitcases, but everything here is too small for you. There's a couple sweater dresses and a hoodie that might fit, but without a pair of pants, that's gonna get real scandalous real fast. The only thing you find that works in the whole damn dressing room is a floaty purple dress hanging on the back of the door. Definitely not your style. You would never wear anything like this back at home. But fuck it, roll with the punches, right? And not just in violence ways, fashion ways. You give a little experimental twirl in front of the mirror. You aren't gonna break any hearts, but you'll do. You actually kinda dig it. You are busy admiring yourself when Chixie comes back. She sniffles sharply, and there are tear tracks on her face, but she isn't crying anymore. In fact, she looks mad as hell. Oh damn, is she mad at you? Did you manage to fuck something up without even being there? You got mad fuck-up skills.
I got bumped. They kicked me off the lineup. I was supposed to be opening, but some new band came in and they have a purple blood drummer, so the club owner let them take my place. Of course, this is how it always goes.
God, she looks so sad. It's time to break out your finely tuned comforting muscles. It's like that one on the inside of your arm. Not the bicep or the tricep. No, I'm talking about that little connecting thing right there. It's usually what goes on the back of the neck. Before you can get those guns out, someone oozes up to the two of you. Someone you recognize. Can I quit? Can I quit? I have no... Look, I really want nothing to do with this asshole. I was so happy when we were done with him forever. Oh, incredible, Miss Roxmer. What are the odds? It must be fate. Well, you chirped that you were coming to the show, so I guess the odds were pretty good? Zebra doesn't let this dim his sparkle. He isn't the type of guy to let facts get in the way. He hasn't even noticed you. He's too busy kissing the back of Chixie's hand. Looking good, baby. I'm kind of a mess. I've been crying. Well, crying looks good on you. Zebra finally glances your way and does an extremely exaggerated double take. Wow, damn. I didn't even recognize you. You clean up real nice, you know? You haven't cleaned up at all, really. You haven't bathed since Tagora's fancy absolution trap. All you've done is put on a slinky dress. It's not like you aren't happy to see Zebra. You are! He's one of your many success stories that you really wanted to get away from. He's just, you know, the kind of friend you want to think back on fondly from time to time, remembering all the good time. The one of them. Yeah, not necessarily the kind you want to hang out with, or have hang all over you like he is right now. Chixie looks at his arm around your shoulders and seems momentarily annoyed. Then her expression skips a couple tracks and hits back on neutral.
So you've met? Where? Online? In a forum? Can I join?
Not in a forum. Unless you're talking about the Forum of Life. He winks. It's disgusting.
Fate just keeps bringing us together, doesn't it? Just you and me. Just like you and me, Chixie baby.
Chixie laughs. Now that she's gotten over her surprise, her entire demeanor has changed. Her body language is relaxed and she keeps biting her lip. She looks like an actor demonstrating bashful on command. Zebra's eating it up. Tagora was the lawyer scum. The one who wants to charge you for everything. His entire friend sequence was like a series of contracts, and then I just stole a bunch of shit from his bathroom, and it scared off somebody who'd come back to him for debts, and so he was funny, and so he was happy with it. Not her. No, not the pink lawyer girl, and not MTT's lawyer glasses coffee girl. I'm talking about the douche nozzle who wants to like charge you for literally everything. He had a tally of credits that was going up every time we talked to him, and that was definitely a guy.
It was really nice of you to post about my EP on your blog. I got a lot of listens from that.
Babe, have I ever told you that I think you're strong? Seriously, low-blood girls are so strong. Chixie laughs again. It sounds painful.
Maybe once or twice.
I love your new stuff. That one song, Poisonous Moon or whatever.
Bloody Sun.
Yeah, right, that one. Real good stuff, sweetheart. I can't wait to hear more tonight. Oh, right, he doesn't know Chixie got bumped. Chixie meets your eyes. She seems to be trying to communicate something entirely using her eyebrows. Furrowed and pleading. I really thought the first one was gonna fail. I'm just gonna stick to my guns. Mind my own damn business. It got me this far, so far. You follow Chixie's lead and don't say anything. Zebra will find out pretty soon anyways when the show starts and Chixie does not get on stage. He takes off, saying he's gonna go get a spot in the pit.
There's no pit here.
Her expressions are great. Her earnest, polite look drops as soon as Zebra's out of sight. She's letting you see all the bits of herself that she has to hide from other people. You wonder if it's because you don't matter that much, or because she can sense your trustworthy nature. You are natural optimist when it comes to friendships. You decide to believe the latter.
Come on, I want to get a good look at the jerks who took my stage from me, so I can talk about them on my vent chitter. You can follow it if you want, only like 4 people do. It's not like anybody cares about my problems anyway.
You risk an encouraging pat between her shoulder blades. She sniffs and wipes her nose.
At least I have you, my one non-creepy fan. At least I think you aren't creepy. I guess I don't know you that well.
You assure her that you aren't creepy, at least not as creepy as that guy. Chixie starts to respond, but then breaks off. Her voice sticks in her throat like she swallowed a bug. Oh wait, they actually eat bugs here. Like she swallowed a live bug. But they eat live bugs. Fuck, it's similarly cancelled. Anyway, Chixie stops talking and you realize that it's because she's listening instead. The first band is on, and going from Chixie's expression, this must be the band that scooped her.
I can't believe it, I can't.
She takes off. You aren't sure if you're supposed to follow, but she swoops back in and grabs your hand to drag you along behind her. This actually does appear to be working. You go past the club entrance and up a staircase, emerging in a tiny backstage area. Chixie stops just outside the stage lights. The band on stage is 4 trolls, mixed cast judging from their clothes, although you suppose they don't have to wear clothes the color of their blood, though most trolls seem to. Law or tradition? Both are pretty dangerous to break.
That's my song. They didn't just steal my set, they stole my set list.
Her cheeks flush a ruddy brown and she shakes with rage. She begins singing along with them.
Twist and pull, breathe the terror of life on hell, spines and gore forevermore in this nightmare island spell. Harris above, blight below. I'm knocking on your hive's front door. Love me, please, I abhor.
It has the kind of twangy country feel to it, except it's about murder. Or maybe love? You can't tell. It just doesn't really fit the band on stage's vibe. It doesn't really fit Chixie's either, but then again, you haven't seen her perform. Maybe she's really different when she gets in a spotlight. She's crying now, tears streaming down her face as she sings.
It's all over now. Nobody's gonna believe I wrote this music. Some little dirt-blood country girl.
You remember what Sarava told you about high bloods stealing their music and acting like they wrote it. God, that's so unfair. That sucks. Where's the bar? Chixie looks up at you like she's only just remembered she is a physical body and not simply an amorphous blob of pure sadness. There's a cluster of bottles on a nearby amp. God, more Faygo. Of all the bands that could cross galaxies, of all the brands that could cross galaxies, of course it had to be Faygo. Chixie grabs what looks like a liquor bottle. Right here. Come on. Not even my vent chitter's enough for this. Back in the dressing room, Chixie upends several suitcases onto the floor, mixing her stuff with the other performers. Her give a shit-ometer is down in the red, apparently. She flops down in the pile she's made and takes a huge gulp out of the bottle. Wow, have some, it's awful. Encouraging. Come on, it's gross, but it won't kill you. You wish people would stop promising you that. So far it's been true, but you still don't trust it. She takes another drink and hiccups, then holds the bottle out for you. Great. Peer pressure. Lying on a pile of sweaters with a distraught vocalist and getting wasted is exactly what you wanted to do this evening. Chixie gives the bottle a shake. Oh well. You sucked smoke out of a bug's ass and you're still here. You drop down in the sweaters beside her. Chixie's dramatic, but you were disappointed to discover that she was not being dramatic about this. It is awful. Right? Have some more. You do. God, that's bad. Chixie's getting a lot tipsier than you. She's drinking faster and she's smaller than you are. Not that you know shit about troll's physiology. Come on, let's commiserate. It's hard, you know? You nod. Boy, do you know. The music business, I mean, especially when you're starting out. You have to be visible, but you also can't look like you're showing off. You have to pretend like you don't like attention or fame, even if you do, but sometimes you have to pretend like you do like it, even if you don't. If you're a low blood, you have to watch everything you do all the time. If you're a high blood, you can do anything and everyone thinks it's awesome no matter what. Show business sucks. Yeah, you're just getting attention online in any way. I've been trying it with art and a webcomic and streaming in YouTube for years. There's another thing. There's another thing about Homestuck that just, I think it resonates with a lot of people. They make all these fucking jokes, and like Alternia is literally just a way to showcase the shittiest parts of humanity in really exaggerated and alien ways. So, like, there's a whole lot of stuff that goes on that just hits, like, a real bone with a lot of its fan base and readers. Especially from the era when it was in its heyday, you know? You want to mention that she's the one who decided to go into it in the first place, but that would be unkind. Nobody here seems to have a job or go to school either. They all just have intensely obsessive hobbies, like painting or music or meat. Instead, you tell her that you're sure she'll write more songs. Sure, and they'll just steal those too. You tell her you are sure that's not true. Shh. Chixie attempts to put a finger up to your lips, but gets it halfway up your nose instead. Shh, complaining time, not helpful advice time. See? That feeling! I know that feeling! I don't even get into this bad of a complaining sense a lot of the time, but most of the time I like to bitch for fun. I complain because I enjoy it, and it's like, look, I know people want to help, but like, you're actually making it worse by just trying to offer a bunch of small suggestions that are things I've already thought of or tried. Like, it's just shut up. Just let me bitch for a minute. It's basically personified us. Yes, exactly. Not helpful advice time. You can definitely get behind that, because you got some complaints. You take another swig and it burns all the way down. Oh, United States. I mean, it's not just the United States. It's... Sure, the United States maybe is where a lot of this has a higher concentration, but this is just kind of humanity. Though I guess it is, yeah, largely centered around American youth culture at the time. Hi, Chixie, I can still see you peeking up there. This girl is so cute! You tell Chixie all about crash landing on a strange alien planet, the broken limbs and hard times and bad wardrobe choices. You skirt around all the amazing friends you made, though. You don't want her to experience friend envy. Halfway through your harrowing story, you hear something. Chixie's passed out, drooling on your dress. Better than puking. Do trolls puke? This isn't a vow of undying friendship, but it's not friendly? Victory?
The good ending is drunk complaining time. Oh my god, yes. Oh my god, yes. Woo. I love this game. Okay. Okay, well now we have to go back and see the less optimistic endings of that whole parade. So let's just go back in time sequentially. We'll go from the most recent choice. So they stole her song, that sucks, where's the bar? Or they stole her song, you should do something. Also, I think this is the most you've ever got choices in one. Like, this is 3 choices. Yeah. Chixie clenches her fists. Yeah. She reaches into a snarled mess of equipment and comes back with a microphone that only looks a little bit squirmy. Then she walks over to a costume rack and pulls down a mask. It's plain white, like the Phantom of the Opera's mask, jarringly stark against the gaudy organic styles of most everything else on Alternia. She waits for a dip in volume in the song, and she gets one right after the bridge. Then she switches on the microphone and takes a huge breath. Shut the fuck up! The sound reverberates around the club. The sound of the crowd dips, then falls off almost entirely. The band staggers to a slow, rattling stop. No one seems to know what's going on. I also think she might have more individual sprites than almost any other character. Oh hell, this isn't what you meant. You meant like egg their tour bus or trash them online. Chixie steps into the light and a murmur goes up through the crowd. The band's singer lowers her microphone. She is in a short blue dress with long vicious claws painted red. You aren't up on all the trends, but you're pretty sure that red is edgy. Chixie covers her microphone and says something to the band. The cerulean stares at her for a few seconds before letting out a cascading spray of laughter. Sure, honey, okay. Condescending and sweet, like Chixie's a toddler who happened to wander on stage. She points 5 finger guns at the guy on the soundboard. Razor, give the lady a beat. Oh god. You know what this is. You see Chixie's face framed by the lights, focused and intent, all simpering gone. You like that? I wrote it. You like that? I own it. Coming in hot, trying to steal my spot. Oh lord, is this a limerick? Just grab my bulge and deep-throat it. A dirty limerick. Holy shit, she's really doing this thing. A rap battle. Jesus. The cerulean girl spits some stuff back. It's kind of basic, just general insults about Chixie's blood color and her lyrics being stale. Considering she stole Chixie's song, that doesn't really fly. The crowd doesn't know that, though. They're eating it up. They probably think it's all part of the show. Some little fiery lowblood coming on stage to shake things up. Paint your clothes red, paint your mouth brown, acting like you know what it's like down here on the ground. The crowd whoops. This might be a high blood-owned club. There's definitely a lot of lowbloods in the crowd. But it's imitation. I got no expectation. This is your final station. You weren't gonna hit higher than this collaboration. You aren't like a rap expert or anything, but you can definitely tell that Chixie isn't either. She gets breathless towards the end of lines and hits some words strangely, but the crowd is really feeling her. Definitely more than they're feeling the cerulean. Chixie's voice picks up speed and power as she gains confidence, drawing energy off the crowd. You realize you're leaning forward too, making sure you catch every word. She goes through a whole list of the band's shortcomings, including their fashion sense, their talent level, their interpersonal clusterfuck. They were apparently a pretty well-known group online. She throws in some stuff about them stealing her music, and the crowd oohs like this is a middle school cafeteria. So kill me, call the drones. It won't change a bit of what they all know. When you're a thief, what do you expect? I beat you all square, hey, show some respect. Chixie drops the mic, the room erupts. Holy shit, that was awesome. She just came up with all of that on the fly. The cerulean looks furious, and another troll runs onto the stage to try and get the crowd under control. They're all chanting, mask, mask, mask. This went down a road I didn't see coming. Welcome to Homestuck, Taken player. That's just kind of the general way of things in this world. This is why I love this series, because, like I said, I've been rating it for like 8 years.
I still have no clue what is ever happening or what is going to happen. Chixie runs back off stage, chucking both the mask and the microphone back where she found them. She grabs you and runs all the way back out to the alley where you met, letting the door close behind you. Guess you're done with that club. Chixie's eyes are round and shell-shocked.
I just did that.
Yeah, she really did.
I just told a bunch of high bloods that it's to eat my bulge.
You don't know what a bulge is, but, yep.
Fuck, they liked me, didn't they? They were cheering for me.
You say, yeah, you're pretty sure they were.
Holy shit, I'm gonna be called. Did you hear all that stuff I said? You can't just say stuff like that.
Remind her that she was wearing a mask when she did it.
Oh right, nobody will know who I am, I'm safe. But that means nobody will know it was me.
You sure you aren't quite following?
I'm not gonna get any credit at all. God, why does everything in my life have to be so metaphorically resonant?
Oh, girl, you feel that. You def know what that's like. Hey, that was pretty dope. Both of you jump about a foot in the air. A low blood in a hoodie and a pair of sunglasses slouches against the brick besides the back door. Either you are seriously impaired today, or he is seriously good at sneaking. You got any stuff online? He asks Chixie. She gapes at him.
But I was wearing a mask, how did you know?
Well, you are standing outside the door, and you're wearing the same clothes you did on stage, so...
Oh, yeah, right. Clever of you.
Don't worry about it. Plausible deniability, right? Catch you later. He slinks off, one hand raised in a casual, cool guy farewell. See, you tell Chixie, some people will figure out who you are. Possibly just randos outside of clubs, but still, she can do this. She can make her dreams come true.
You're totally right. I so can. I guess all hope isn't lost. At least not until another insurmountable obstacle comes along. Thanks for, well, everything. I never would have gone out there if not for you.
She hesitates for a few seconds and then goes in for a slightly damp hug.
Sorry, stage lights and terror, they make me sweat.
Yay! Multiple victories! Wait, diamond? What is a diamond? Was diamond? Diamond was just like super forever buds, right? Aw, diamonds, yay. 2 victory roads. Chixie's great. I like this. I'm sad now that I told her to fuck off in the regular game because I won't get to see her again. Damn it. All right. So I guess if you get to that choice, you just win no matter what. It's 2 different ways of doing it. Why does that image look like they gave her a butt? I don't know. I wasn't looking. Now I want to, though, so hold up. You should do something. Skip. Fast forward it. Oh, yeah, she definitely had a little bum there. It might have just been like a poof of the sweater, though. Back to here. Yo, dude, you are being super creepy and uncool, so guess what? Maybe get the fuck out of here. Chixie's not going to perform. You tell Zebra about the higher caste trolls coming in and taking Chixie's place. She starts making frantic motions behind Zebra's back, shaking her head, but immediately stops when he turns to look at her. That true, babe?
It's not a big deal. This sort of stuff happens in the business all the time, or so people tell me. Don't worry about it.
No, I am worried. I always worry about low-bloods in terrible positions who can't help themselves at all. I'll take care of it for you.
You really don't have to.
Zebra touches her arm for way longer than is necessary. It's more of a shoulder rub than a pat. Chixie seems to be trying very hard not to shrug him off. Her smile belongs in a Halloween mask, a rictus grin. The 2 of you watch him swagger off back towards the front of the hall. Chixie lets out a breath.
I wish you hadn't done that. He's got a really popular music blog, and he's an indigo, so I have to be polite. 1 bad review from him and it's all over. But I try and interact with him as little as possible.
You hadn't realized that Zebra was a musician.
Oh, he's not. He just reviews albums and shows, stuff like that. He makes a lot of reposts, but he's got a ton of followers. Don't get me wrong, it's really nice to be noticed, but he's just a little pushy, and I don't have time in my life right now for quadrants, you know what I mean?
You do. You so do. Does Zebra try what he tried with you on every low blood he meets? You aren't sure if that makes you feel worse or better. Chixie talks about him like he's a natural disaster, a tornado that she has to avoid to keep from getting torn apart. Like it's just an inevitability that people would treat her like she owed them something?
I don't want to seem ungrateful.
You tell her that she doesn't seem ungrateful. From where you're standing, she doesn't seem to be doing anything wrong. She sighs, blowing a piece of hair out from her eyes.
Too bad if doing everything right doesn't mean everything will go your way.
When Zebra comes back, such little time has passed that you don't think he could have possibly done anything. He shows you and Chixie all of his teeth. I got it all fixed up for you. You go on tonight. In fact, you're headlining. You're welcome. Chixie's mouth drops open.
What? How?
I get to do anything I want in my own club. Wait, what? I bought it from the owner. He's just a teal. Seriously, business ownership? It's a little ambitious for a mid-blood, isn't it? I convinced him it'd be easier for him and everyone if a high-blood just took it over. I've been meaning to get into the club scene anyway. Now you'll always have somewhere to perform. Provided you do everything I say all the time. He grins just to show it's just a joke, but there's also something in his smile that you really, really don't like. You regret asking for his help. So does Chixie, apparently. She gets right in your face.
Nice work. Now I owe him even more than before. This is the only club around here that will let low-blood solo acts perform. You can find your own way out, can't you?
And everybody is sad. It seems like a victory, but it's not. It's not. We're just gonna spend like half the stream on Chixie, ain't we? I'm fine with it. I really like Chixie. Back to the first choice. Alright, grab the door before it can close. Displaying the dexterity of someone far healthier and far less dressed in a slinky bathrobe, you grab the door before it can slam closed. The bronze blood girl's attention snaps up and she breaks off mid-note. She takes in the mid-placed concrete and you holding the door.
Oh, thanks for catching that. I would have had to go all the way around to the front. It must have been the wind blowing concrete.
What sort of wind do they have here that can pick up a chunk of rock the size of a turtle? Unless wind is urban slang for some rando douchebag. She gives you a quick little smile and darts through the door, letting it close behind her with a solid click. Yep, locked. The brief gleaming flare of friendship you felt when she smiled at you in earnest, thanks, stutters, and dies. You really had a moment there, but now she's inside and you're out here, where you will never reap the fruit of glorious friendship you planted with that act of kindness. Geez, what's the point of doing something nice if you don't get any credit for it? Alright, wonderful. Chixie rules. Very happy. Very happy with that particular friend. Yup, and there's 2 achievements for her. Mic drop and 3 sweaters to the wind. All right. I think we have time for... No. I'm not friend-gasming a lawyer. No, the lawyer is being saved for MTT. We're skipping that one for now. Instead, we're going to Volume 9. Part of you has always been taken with the idea of purchasing a one-way train ticket to anywhere and boarding it without looking back. Or in your current case, stowing away without looking back. Details. The idea had always seemed so idyllic. No strings, no obligations, just you and your journey, the wind in your hair, and the taste of freedom on your lips. Your little daydream didn't exactly involve careening across a perilous extraterrestrial landscape, but then you've always liked to think of yourself as the kind of person who's open to new experiences. Not to mention new friends. In practice, though, this tastes less like freedom and more like noxious muck, which is what you're currently surrounded by. Ugh. It's not unlike the slime that was in Scylla's Recupercoon, except that slime was weirdly soothing and this is prickly and burny and uncomfortable. You thought you were being smart by sneaking on board, jumping into some sort of cargo carriage? Oh, how wrong you'd been. The trade-off for not being caught, then maimed and or killed for your blood color is apparently this. You almost would have preferred the maiming. God knows you're used to taking a beating by now. Alright, so I can either take dude who was partner of Muscle Girl or troll Muscle Girl. There's a lot of links to muscles here. I feel like I know what one Calvin wants. Taken, if you're still around, which one would you prefer? Azdaja or Chahut? She looks a lot bigger now. She was a lot... so, keep in mind that in the actual Hiveswap, the game, all the characters are sort of drawn in a way that's cheapified. Like, they've got bigger heads and smaller bodies. And she was big there. So, yeah, when they're drawn in, like, proper proportions, she's gonna be gigantic. Well, I think I think this might be the last one of the day. I don't know. We've done 2. We might get through both of them. But I'd like to also leave Giant Troll for a time when we can have some more people around. So I'm going to take the dude who I think will be less impactful as the Ja. After what feels like way too long, the vehicle slows down and you take the opportunity to tumble out of your slime jail onto the dusty ground, picking yourself up and hurrying away from the station before you can get spotted. A little while later, man has a thing from DBZ on, okay? Yeah. A little while later, you're standing at the beginning of a massive canyon and your awful train ride almost feels worth it. The canyon stretches on endlessly, miles of yawning chasms and winding ravines at your feet. It's enough to make your mouth hang open in awe. After spending so much time in various grody parts of the city, the sight of such pristine natural beauty touches your heart. You feel somehow inspired, like you could belt out an aria or draw a masterpiece if you... That was my aria. Thank you for coming. There will be no encores. But before you can begin exploring your hidden creative depths, you're distracted by noises coming from not too far away. You're not alone. You know what this means. A chance to get yourself more of that sweet, sweet friendship. After so many successful companionship ventures, you're thirsty for more. Yum Antimatter, hello. How you doing? I am not bad. I'm feeling energetic. I was settling in for a long day of animating, working on my homework this weekend, but turns out I've still got a mystery pain in my central column, also known as a torso. It has not gone away for 4 days, so I'm going to be going to a hospital after this. How dare you ever skip over Buff Clown? Today is a bit of a quiet stream because of other events going on. Look at it more like saving Buff Clown for a time when we have more people to experience it. You pick up your jaw and you go investigate. The sound leads you towards a trail along the side of the canyon, which in turn leads you down to a roomy platform not that much lower than where you started. There's a series of sharp outcrops jutting out of the plateau, and perched atop the highest one is a figure dramatically framed against the moonlight. You know what? I actually just realized 2 of my favorites in this whole game so far. Like here, I'm gonna save this real quick. Yeah, overwrite this. So if I go back to the menu, like, obviously, L-Word was a fantastic highlight. I generally like Ceruleans. The Spider Girl was a really good intro to this whole thing. I don't know if I liked her much, but it was memorable. But past that, my favorites have been Browns, I think, excluding this guy. Fuck this guy. Yeah, she was awesome, and Chixie was awesome. And then there was L-Word. And I guess Polypa was pretty cool too. But like, yeah, that's surprising considering that's the color of Tavros and nobody likes Tavros. I'm surprised that 2 of my favorites so far have been bronzes. It's pretty neat. Nobody loves Hot Dog Troll. Hot Dog Troll probably bribed somebody to get this place in this game. It was a giant waste of time. At first you think he's peering moodily into the distance, but then you realize he's looking through some kind of contraption on his face. Right. So the mustards, the yellows, always seem to have some kind of chiptune music. Recording coordinates. You look around. There doesn't seem to be anyone else here. So what you heard was this fellow muttering to himself, you guess? I see. He's so wrapped up in whatever it is that he's doing that he hasn't noticed you yet. The guy's got to be hankering after some company, being all by his lonesome out here in the middle of nowhere. You're sure of it. Climb up and surprise him. Eagerly, you clamber up the side of the rock. Wow, this drop is pretty intense, but it's nothing you can't handle with plenty of determination and frantic scrambling. You finally make it to the top. You're about to haul yourself up so you can stand, fully ready to introduce yourself and let this guy have it with the geniality. Really show him how amicable you can be. Before you can do that, though, he whirls around, trench coat and long hair whipping in a wide arc. All of your clumsy scrabbling at the rock face must have clued him into your presence. Do you really think you could sneak up on me? His eyes flash, literally. They flicker from blue to turquoise and back again in quick succession. I don't know if I like this guy or not, but he's got a good pose. You don't notice the pure white energy crackling at his fingertips until you're already in the air. When Kuuribro lifted you up, it was like getting yanked up by the scruff of your shirt. This is smoother somehow, like you just stepped into a strong breeze. Doesn't really change the outcome, though. You eye the ground below you nervously. Think again. Wait, you weren't engaging in any sneaking around, honest. Okay, well, you were, but you didn't mean anything malicious by it. You were just after some quality hangouts. Unfortunately for you, he doesn't seem very moved by your heartfelt entreaty. Yeah, likely story. You were looking to gank my data to get a frond up on the game. Don't try to deny it. You don't know anything about any game, but before you can explain further, you're unceremoniously released. You run through quite the spectrum of emotions as you plunge downwards, but the strongest by far is regret. Regret that you'll emerge from this altercation stands the use of your limbs if you're lucky, but also stands a potential new friend. Bye! Also, good tunes. Good tunes on that guy. He looks like the anime protagonist, but like the asshole co-protagonist. Ah, you mean the Lancer. Yes, yes, he does have a very Lancer-like look to him. Of the ones you've done so far, I love the lawyers for very different reasons. Polypa and the small child who wants your blood. Tagora sucks. Small child who wants your blood was alright. Was alright, I guess. I have not done Tigris yet, I think. The lawyer with the glasses and the coffee. I'm saving that one. I skipped over her because that character, considering how long we fucking spent in that trial on the train, this character belongs to a friend of mine, and I will not go through that until said friend is here for it. Chixie was a surprise stat. Chixie rules. Like the amount of surprise that I am for how fond I was of Chixie and the caretaker of Great God Lady Lass is like, because Chixie wasn't even on the train and Country Girl just stood at the back of it. They did nothing in the Hiveswap, so I'm just like, yes, they're awesome. I love them. Also, yeah, Polypa didn't do a lot, but she had a pretty good arc in here too. Load, please. Thank you. You watching movies with Polypa? Yeah, it was great. Wave and say hello. Sporting your most winning smile, you call out a greeting and give a jaunty wave. That gets his attention. Well, would you look at what the purr beast dragged in? Are you lost? That depends on your definition of lost. You prefer to think of whatever you're doing as taking the scenic route, just, like, indefinitely. Your new acquaintance, and hopefully to soon-to-be new pal, snorts, unimpressed. It'd be better if you did that somewhere else. Better for me, I mean, which is the most important issue currently at hand, let's face it. I still have preparations to make, and I'm running out of time. You're kind of cramping my style here. Preparations? For the game, obviously. It's starting any minute now. You have no idea what he's talking about. Seriously, you don't know about dual strifers? Wow, you're even more of an empty-headed pleb than I thought. That's not a very fair thing to say. Sure, you might have made a habit of running headfirst into stupidly dangerous situations, but there's no reason for him to assume your voice is drowned out by a crackling sound. He's levitating down from his perch towards you, sparks of energy stirring up the sand in a cloud. After meeting Sarava and Kuuribro, you've come to expect psionic powers from trolls with yellow blood by now, but it still kind of takes you aback. You stumble backwards, falling on your ass. The troll is unbothered by your spill, continuing to address you while you're sprawled on the ground. Look, I'll explain. Dual Strifers pits Alternia's best and brightest against each other in a timed event designed to reveal the most skilled among the group. Which would be me, of course, that goes without saying. I just have to prove it. He tells you a bunch of other stuff about game mechanics that, to be honest, goes straight over your head. He's apparently not in enough of a rush that he can't stop what he's doing to outline his plans to use some random passerby in a fairly detailed manner at that. He seems pleased to have an audience, actually. This friendship is barely even off the ground and you're already doing great. You get back on your feet and nod along sagely, pretending to understand all his rambling about strategy and whatnot. And then you notice a blinking light. It's coming from the screen over his eye. Huh. Interesting. My scouter can't retrieve any data on your species at all. He leans forward and looks at you. Really looks at you. Up until this point, he'd been paying more attention to his own voice and whatever readings he'd been getting on his device, but now he's focused fully on you. It's starting to fluster you a little, actually. That is, until his mouth twists to a smirk. You get a glimpse of a single jagged tooth. You know, it's technically possible to join in teams of two, but now you're here. Is he saying what you think he might be saying? Excitedly, you clarify whether he's asking you to join the game as his partner. Sure, I just love teaming up with clueless nerds like you. No. You'd be a nice element of surprise, though. I could use you as a collateral resource, fodder, a lackey. What do you say? That doesn't sound nearly as flattering. But it's an opportunity to help, and you founded so many great friendships on doing whatever favors random strangers have wanted you to do for them already. Why stop now? Screw this. You know what? You're better than this. Who does this guy think he is, trying to turn you into his minion? Everyone keeps expecting you to be useless, and you're tired of it. You've accomplished great things, you say, stamping your feet, kicking up a real hullabaloo. You've never been a... You're... Not never. Never. You are a big deal on your home planet. People practically quiver in your boots when you walk past. Even if you weren't a big deal, even if you were the smallest fry around, you're pretty sure you could take whatever he could dish out. He's just a really nerdy asshole who looks like he fell out of the IT department straight into the discount bin of a bad Matrix display cast-offs. You have no idea what you're doing. Absolutely nothing you've said about yourself is true. You're spewing hot air and pure vitriol, running on the modicum of confidence that you've built up, bluffing your way through the variety of mishaps you've encountered before now. You throw up your hands when you're done, both out of exasperation and as a kind of ending flourish of your little speech. There's a deafening rumble behind you. When you turn around, it's just in time to see one of the outcrops shudder dramatically into a pile of detritus. Your eyes go wide. Either the rock was already weakened and chose this moment to break, resulting in the best coincidence ever, or you have a secret telekinetic powers of your own that you've never known about until now. Whichever it is, it grants your venting session a healthy dose of gravitas. Azadaja looks at you with a complicated expression on his face, like he's mad at you, but also like you've paid him a really nice compliment. What a brazen proposition. What proposition? If you're propositing anything, it's for him to consider you an equal rather than some kind of a sidekick, that's all. Let me tell you something, alien. I've heard things through the spherical fruit strings about someone else in my line of work who caused quite a stir recently. Alerts have been blown up, saying a gold-blood girl assassinated a sea dweller. I had a reason to suspect she'd show herself here today. I was looking forward to seeing if she's good as the rumors say she is. A gold-blood girl. That's what the alerts say. As one of the best mercenaries in the business, I know better. They must have been wearing a disguise. He points a finger at you. You, despite not being of Alternian origin, have a record. You've shown up here to a dueling session in a rumpus robe and nub stilts. He indicates your flowing gown and heels, which could easily be another disguise to throw the drones off your scent. And as you so graciously just demonstrated, you're powerful. You're easily the most suspicious person I've come across here yet. Who's to say you're not the mysterious killer? You realize that he's been floating gradually higher and higher in the air as he's talking to you, until he's hovering over you almost predatorily. Shit, what have you done? If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you'll get. Oh shit. His eyes light up and a bright blue beam explodes the rock next to you. Is he gonna unleash some crazy, like, Dragon Ball shit on me now? He's got the Yu-Gi-Oh! And the dragons. And look at he's got balls all around him right now. They might be Dragon Balls, I don't know that series. His eyes light up and a bright blue beam explodes the rock next to you. You turn tail and run, but he follows, trailing along behind you like some kind of angry helium balloon. He doesn't stop shooting at you, and you can feel the lasers rush past, rustling the hair and clothes as they cut through the air. Gosh, he's powerful. It takes your breath away. You'd be in awe if you weren't busy running for your life. You almost wish you had some sort of device that would measure just how powerful he is. Except, no, not really. On second thought, knowing his exact power level would probably be so frustrating that you'd immediately break whatever device that would call for, with your bare hands. As strong as he is, though, you can't help but notice that none of his shots are all that close to hitting you. It's more like he's trying to intimidate you, provoke you into fighting back. You have to get away from him as quickly as possible before any of his blasts actually connect. Before you know it, your scurrying feet have taken you back to where you started, the train station. Would you quit running around like a cluck beast with a severed think pan? You came to me. You came on to me, and now you won't follow through with it? Get back here and fight! You seem to have managed to both pick a fight and hit on him simultaneously. Maybe he thinks you were that hate man spades thing with him? God. You just want to be friends, and then he might have lost your temper a little. This is all just a big misunderstanding. So he isn't listening to you. Another blast zips past you, dangerously close to your ear this time. You scan the area frantically for cover. There! A structure near the tracks that looks like it might be some kind of mechanized ticket booth. You dive behind it. I'm growing impatient, alien. Cease this game of hunt and sequester and face me. A beam hits your makeshift shield, blowing a hole straight through it. You stumble backwards, close to the tracks. Oh no. Oh fuck. This is it. You're gonna be murdered in cold blood by a guy who can shoot pure energy out of his eyes, and there's nothing you can do about it. You squeeze your eyes shut, bracing for impact. All of a sudden, there's a distant rushing sound. With all the running and laser dodging, you'd forgotten this station was even for in the first place. The train is arriving. Maybe someone on it will be willing to help you. Not like Alternians have a good track record of helping folks out in need of the goodness of their hearts, but damn it, it's the only chance you've got. Asdaja is distracted by the train's arrival for only a minute before turning towards you again. But then a figure climbs out of the train carriages. A figure that's large and hulking, and yet one that you recognize. Oh, hello.
Asdaja, what the hell are you doing? Why are you attacking my friend?
Wait, friend? You know this globe's for Sponge? Why didn't you tell me? They're the assassin I've been looking for.
What?
You you idiot. No assassin? When I met them, they freaked out over a little blood. They've never even killed before.
What?
What about their powers? Connell squints at you like she's thinking very hard about what your most exceptional qualities might be.
Well, they're pretty good at falling on the ass
And freaking out in the middle of a crisis and being squishable. Asdaja's expression goes cold. His eyes stop flashing, but he still looks like he could kill you with his glare alone. I see. So that's why you were running away. You were lying. What an immature ruse. You can't help but feel a little bad for pulling the wool over his eyes, even though you were fearing for your life until just a few seconds ago. Asdaja seems to trust Connell's word implicitly. Now that you've been exposed as nothing but a regular Joe, he seems to have lost all interest in you. Connell, I was beginning to think you'd skipped out on the event. Of course not. I missed the Omniscuttle Caravan, and the desert has shit reception, so I couldn't call. You know that. That's right. Well, I'm glad you made it. I've let myself get distracted by this peon for long enough. Let's go strife some losers, own their nooks in battle, and profit. Fuck yeah. I'd love to stay and chat, kid, but there's a bunch of culls in that canyon with my name all over them. Later. You watch wistfully as they set back off towards the canyon. If only you hadn't lost your temper and lied out your ass like an idiot, you might have been walking with them. Instead, you're here alone on the ground. New friendship having slipped through your fingers like all this desert sand. Left alone. I thought the train was gonna hit me. Alrighty. Let's go back again. Wait. I need the autosaves. Stop. Autosave, please. Yes, good. That one. So, you'll be the best lackey ever. The title may not be much, but that doesn't mean you can't excel at it. You tell him you accept his offer. Excellent. By the way, I'm Asdaja Nelex, but you must have known that already. You're not sure why you know. Maybe he's some kind of big shot? Come to think of it, the name does ring a bell. You've heard it before when you were in the middle of infiltrating a bandit hideout with a mercenary, Connell. You met my mate, Sprit? You must have gotten on her good side or you wouldn't be standing here talking to me. Because you'd be minced into the ground finer than grub paste. He's grinning like he's really proud and fond about Connell being the sort of girl who'd make mincemeat out of someone as soon as you speak to them. If he wasn't talking about her literally murdering you, you might find this reaction endearing. Hang on, if he already has a partner, why isn't she here? Asdaja's expression sours abruptly. My partner isn't here because she didn't make our agreed upon rendezvous time. He says the word partner in an overdone, exasperated huff as if he thinks she might be listening from behind a boulder somewhere and he can somehow shame her into appearing. You remember what Polypa said about mercenary duos often being quadrated pairs, i.e. romantically involved? Did his girlfriend stand him up? Yee. Maybe it's better that you hadn't been promoted to partner status if it meant getting involved in another couple's spat. You've had quite enough of that already. You hope they aren't fighting. Azdaja glares at you. The exact nature of our quadrant is none of your business, frankly. Now come on, we're wasting time. He steps off the edge of the plateau, descending in a crackle of energy and floating you into the canyon along with him. It's a terrifying ride, but the view it affords is pretty amazing. Soon you reach the bottom. We should keep going. There's someone else in this valley. We'll get the drop on them if we move fast. He grins confidently, his coat flapping behind him. There isn't any wind down here. Is he flapping his own coat with sigh for dramatic effect? First blood to Nelex. You blink. Tentatively, you repeat. Blood? Yes, blood. He says that's the same way he announced the name of this competition earlier, like it should have been painfully obvious. Like I told you, our aim is to take out our opposition, swiftly and painfully. To win, we have to be the last team standing in this entire canyon. Weren't you listening when I explained earlier? God damn it, you've been proceeding under the assumption this was some kind of elaborate competitive LARP. Like solve some puzzles, get out of the giant canyon before the other guy type of deal. Perhaps arm wrestle your competitors into submission if you run into them. But no, this game involves actual violence. You probably shouldn't be surprised. You've been in Alternia long enough now to discern that boy, trolls sure do love killing. You've made friends with plenty of trolls who have less bloodthirsty hobbies, though. You ask him whether he's ever considered getting into excessive bodily force poetry or streaming some sick beats. Please, you're kidding, right? Now is no time for joking around. Don't tell me you're already getting frosty strep pods. I can't work with someone with such a flimsy sense of conviction. You reassure him that no, of course not, your strut pods are as toasty as all heck, but he's no longer paying attention to you. His scouter glints. There. He flashes past you before you can blink, riding the wave of his side to a collection of rocks sitting behind you. Target acquired. Nice try thinking you could outsmart me by lying in wait and waiting for an ambush. Cowardly move, and very, very sloppy. Now prepare to get owned. Resistance is futile, fuck. Abruptly, Azdaja freezes. You hesitate, unsure as to what sort of threat you're dealing with here. But then a troll girl with a cerulean blue symbol on her shirt pops up from behind the rocks. She giggles menacingly, making Azdaja turn towards you. His expression is a blank, his nifty brain power is now under your competition's control. To echo Azdaja's sentiment, oh fuck, you need to do something and fast. You have the harebrained thought that maybe you can grab Azdaja and physically wrest him from her control? You launch yourself towards him in a mad dash, attempting to call out a chilling battle cry, but it comes out as more of a pathetically broken yell. Yeah, he's mind-controlled. The girl laughs again. Azdaja's eyes flash brighter than you'd seen so far, almost blinding. Oh hell, those are straight up lasers, aren't they? And they're really powerful, oh shit. You've met some strong trolls, but this kind of power is something else. If Azdaja were a character in a video game and you were to assign him a quantifiable number to measure his power, some kind of level perhaps, that number would be... it'd be very high. Azdaja's lasers shoot at a point above you, scoring a deep gash in the rock and sending rubble toppling downwards. You reach out, grabbing at Azdaja's coat. You have to get out of here. The girl doesn't stop you, merely leaping out of the way of the certain doom that's hurling rapidly towards you. You think you see something out of the corner of your eye, some last-ditch hope at not getting squashed as flat as a grub cake. You race toward it. Your first thought when you open your eyes is that death has finally come to tenderly cradle you in its sweet, loving embrace. But you quickly realize that you're in a cave, not the afterlife, and that the reason you can even see anything right now is because the area around you is brightened by a light coming from Azdaja's scouter. Through sheer dumb luck, you must have run towards the single safe spot in the entire ravine, this hole in the ground. It's as if this hole was sitting here, carved out of the rock, waiting to be your escape route. You might even say this hole was made for you. Fuck! You wince, covering your ears. Could you keep it down a little? Your nerves are a little shot from almost dying for the umpteenth time this week. No, I will not keep it down. Curses, I can't believe this. Who does that blue blood think she is? Does she realize who she messed with? Wow, he looks really mad. Instinctively, you reach out to execute that slow face pat that trolls seem to find so soothing, but he slaps your hand away. What do you think you're doing? I've already told you I have a moral. You stammer out an apology. It just seemed like the right thing to do. Plus, you thought Connell was his mate spread? He seems to realize what he just said. A hint of yellow touches his cheeks, just barely visible in the light. That's what I said. I already have a mate spread. You're pretty sure you heard him right the first time, and you're also pretty sure that these two are different sorts of relationships, but you let the subject drop. No need to rile up your new friend more than he already is. Your shoosh pap might have been rejected, but the attempt seems to snap him out of whatever pissed off funk he's gotten himself into. Let's get out of here. He follows the path out of the cave. Can't he just blast you both out? Don't be stupid. If I did that, that would cause a cave-in. Are you that eager to get crushed? Good point. You're acting just like Connell. So ready to rush in without a game plan. If he means this is an insult, its effect is kind of lost. He sounds more wistful than irritated. You walk in silence for a while. As you make your way further into the cave, you realize that the walls aren't blank like you previously thought, but covered in complicated carvings. Cave trollers? I know what you're thinking. That life as a prince among trolls must be an enviable one. You snap to attention. Yes, of course. You were definitely thinking that about him and his life story just then. I don't expect someone like you to understand. You're obviously a completely average person who will live out their life in perfect mediocrity. But not me. You don't know what it's like to be born so gifted. Completely average, that's you alright. You try your best to be sympathetic. Having rad powers must make things really hard. What? No way, it's fucking awesome. But as you've clearly seen, it can attract unwanted attention from pathetic individuals who aren't nearly as talented themselves, who are desperate to have some unbeatable psionics in their corner. To be honest, the Empire's no different, and it's not like the Rebels are much better. Connell and I don't really care one way or the other. We're just here to take off chumps and get money. We look out for ourselves first and foremost. But eventually we'll be sent off planet to do the bidding of the Empress, just like everybody else. Okay, you can see why having no say in the matter kinda sucks. But isn't there opportunity to do cool shit in space, too? Azdaj's face draws up an awry expression. Yeah, with someone else calling the shots. You keep walking. After what feels like hours, his scouter flashes again. Yeah, we're here. He lets the wall have it with his eye lasers. With a resounding roar, it crumbles away. Aside from the spot he destroyed, the rest of the cave is intact. Moonlight spills into the space through the impromptu exit. It's over. We were stuck down there for so long, the game has ended. Meaning, your heart sinks. This was a disaster. He's definitely not going to want to be your friend after losing this competition he's so invested in. We're the last team standing, which makes us the winners. Yeah. I knew it. That blue blood loser might have made a stroke of good luck, but she was no match for someone of my station. My victory was a foregone conclusion from the start. Bringing you along is an excellent idea. Your recklessness really came in handy back there. He's thanking you, you realize, or something close to it. Modestly, you assure him it was no problem. A prince knows when to give credit when it's due. Celebration is in order, I think. Once we collect our prize. There's a prize? Fuck yes. Dual Strifers offers an impressive cash reward to whoever wins. You'll get a cut as well. Money! This will be the first time you've laid your hands on the stuff since you crash landed. Maybe you'll be enough to finally purchase a warm meal or clothing that isn't from somebody else's closet? More important than the money, though, is that you've proven you aren't a complete fuck-up. You've earned Azdaj's trust and also his friendship. Nice! Well, that was largely uneventful because it played on a bunch of stereotypes and tropes that I haven't followed for the majority of my online life. But that's it. That's it for today. It's a short one today. Super quiet, and I am getting increasingly uncomfortable for just a variety of reasons. Sitting here right now, I really need to call that hospital, I think. Also, I need, like, food. I am very, very hungry. So, I'm just gonna call it here.